Hey, everybody. Appreciate y'all joining us. This is Ross. If y'all stand by, we are connecting with Coach Swinney shortly, and we will get rolling. Going to test my audio real quick. Jeff Callan, if you're on the line, can you hear me and confirm that the audio is going well?
Yes, I can. I can hear you fine.
All right. For the media that's joined us, we appreciate y'all doing it in this format. Figured we'd give this a try, and it allows us to most easily disseminate the audio file afterward. One other thing it allows us to do for those who are joining us by computer, it will allow y'all to raise your hand so I know who would like for me to come to them with a question. If you see the participants tab toward the bottom of the screen and click that, you should have the option to raise hand. Looks like Trevor Groves just did that. Dennis Dodd just did that. If you all will do that to indicate to me that you all will have a question, I will be happy to come to you all in that format. Looks like Coach has joined us. Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Excellent. Well, we're here with a group of media. We appreciate everybody joining us today. Obviously, under different circumstances, we would have had a media availability post-practice on Wednesday, and we would have been gearing up to culminate our spring with the spring game tomorrow. Obviously, those circumstances have changed, and unfortunately, we're not doing that. But we're hoping that we would be able to talk a little football today. In lieu of that, kind of wrap up our spring. So with that, I will turn it over to Coach Swinney.
I appreciate it, Ross. And first of all, hope everyone's doing well out there and staying safe. And just we did think this would be a good time to just kind of touch base. And, obviously tonight was going to be a special night. This was going to be our all-in ball tonight. And, we know that this community it really greatly depends on us. And what has come through the all-in ball, we over $5 million through the all-in ball in this community over the last decade, and so obviously something we had to postpone, but we postponed it. We will have the all-in ball somewhere down the road and meet the needs of so many people that I know are depending on us there. That would have been tonight, and then tomorrow would have been the spring game. And it looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. And so certainly wish that we could have been able to do that. But you know what? This is the situation we're all in right now. And we're going to push forward through all this. No doubt that this will pass, and we'll all get back to doing what we love to do. But I'm very grateful and thankful that we were able to evaluate our team. We had a lot of great meetings and a lot of installation, and we did have 9 good practices and 1 full scrimmage and 1 half scrimmage. And I think we were able to make a lot of good progress as we Hello?
Coach, you with us? May have lost you there for a second.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. I saw something go away. You got me?
We've got you. Go ahead.
All right. What was the last thing you heard?
Made a lot of progress.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we made a lot of progress in the 9 days, and we had one full scrimmage and one half scrimmage, and just feel really good about this team. I will say this, and I told the team the other day, I think this team without question is further ahead of where we were last year at this time. I don't think there's any question about that. We just have a lot more functional players in our first groups. Last year, our first group defensively, especially up front, man, we were as green as they come. But our first groups on both sides, and then even several of our twos really can go play winning football for us. So I feel good about where we are. We got a lot to do, but this whole deal that we're going through right now has created a unique challenge for us as a football team. And I tell you, I knew that we had great people, but to see everyone rise up and adapt and find a way to still be great, it's been really special to be a part of it. And I mean this when I say this. I've never been more busy. I can't wait to get back to my office at work because it just seems like I'm on the phone all day, every day, it seems like. But it's amazing. We've all become a little more technologically savvy. And, I never heard of what Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and I've become pretty good at all those things. And we are able to do everything. The only thing that we're not able to do is practice and to actually be in a room together. But we are, doing everything. We really are. I mean, we're having staff meetings. We had a team meeting the other day with like 180 people on it. We had, with all of our staff and all of our players, and it was amazing. And it was really, really cool because I think the biggest thing that we all miss, because we've been very efficient. It's amazing what we're getting done in recruiting, as far as our efficiency there and what we're doing from an offensive, defensive meeting standpoint, position meetings, and team and staff and so forth. All that stuff has been great. But I think, the biggest thing is you miss that community. You miss being together. There's nothing like being able to just, have that community. But I'm really proud of everyone, our team, our staff, and how everyone's responded. Our team meeting the other day was awesome. Our players are in a really good place. They're doing an awesome job. A lot of these guys have had online classes, maybe one here or there, or sometimes a lot of times they take online in the summer or one or two a semester or whatever. So the actual class part wasn't that big a deal as far as having to kind of get them up to speed. The biggest thing was our routine, our structure, as if we're all in Clemson together. And we worked really hard on that last week, and we're just finishing our second week back in school, if you will, because the first week we were on break. And our guys are doing a great job. We're having, with our tutoring program. So we have, it's all the same as if we were here. But the tutoring, the class attendance, our meetings, all those things are very structured, and it's been great. And the ACC and NCAA have allowed us now where we can actually meet with our players 4 hours a week. And so, to be honest with you, man, we're going to get a lot done because, spring ball would have been ending tomorrow. And then once that ends, we would be having our exit meetings, and we could not meet with them football wise anymore. So, the fact that right now in the immediate, and I appreciate, because right now we need to be over communicating with our players, not under communicating. And so to be able to have 4 hours a week where, hey, they got to show up, they got to be in meetings, and we're doing it within our practice block, so it doesn't interfere with class or tutoring or any of those things, their workout time. And so, just trying to keep them very engaged, very structured with their days. And it's been really good. Our leadership's been great. A lot of great comments the other night from our team, and everybody knows what we got to do to be ready. This is a challenge for everyone, and how we accept that challenge is going to determine, our success when we get to the other side of this stuff. And but I love the mindset. that we have. The leadership has been great, and the communication has been unbelievable. Our strength staff's done a wonderful job of creating. Most of our guys have access to weights. I think it's like 80-something guys. So, they just get sent kind of a daily plan that they're, you have to be responsible. The reason we've been a great program is because of leadership, accountability, responsibility, and discipline. And those are things that are so important right now. I always say, the character of our team, character is who you are when nobody's looking. And, championships are won when the stands are empty. And that's what this is all about. And I don't have any doubt the character of our team is going to wake these guys up every day, and they're going to do what they need to do to come back, better, not just ready, come back better. And that's the mindset that we have right now. And the same as for us as staff, we're not just going to come back ready. We're going to come back better. All of us. This is a lot of professional growth, a lot of personal growth, and opportunity to get better. And we're going to all do that. And I'm excited when we do get back together and get on with it. But, these guys getting their daily workout each day. And then those who do not have access to weights, our strength coaches have done an amazing job of sending them video of creative workouts that can accomplish the same thing without having a weight. And so it's been pretty cool. My strength staff's probably pretty sore right now, though, but those guys have done a great job. Paul Harrington, our nutritionist, and Hallie Foreman, our chef, they've just been amazing, because these guys, it's a holistic approach. If you're going to be great, you got to want to take care of your body. You got to fuel your body the right way. You got to get sleep. You got to train. Although you can't out train a bad lifestyle or a bad diet. And so that's something our guys believe in and have bought into. And Hallie and Paul created a website for our guys where they can go to and they got a list of meals, grocery shopping list, how to put it together, and they've got a demo of every meal, how to cook it, all these things, and that's been very helpful for our guys to be able to kind of stay the course so they can stay on track from a nutrition standpoint. So it's been great. Clemson, our leadership has been awesome. We've been able to do everything we can to support our guys, and all I can tell you is they're all doing well, and everybody is progressing. Everybody's eager, and I think another thing that's going to come out of this when we all get back together, we're going to have just such a much better appreciation of community and being able to actually sit in a room together and those type of things, be able to hug somebody's neck and all those little things that I think sometimes we all take for granted. So we're in a good place, and health-wise, we're in a good place there as well. Nolan Turner is doing well with his rehab. Brighton Constantine, that's a couple of our long-term rehab guys. But right now, everybody else is in a good spot. And but with that, I will open it up and take some questions, and hopefully we can talk a little football as we go through this.
Appreciate that, Coach. We're going to go first to Pete Iacobelli, the Associated Press. Pete, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. First of all, I'd like to say I'd like everybody on the call. I hope everybody is well and holding up through this time. Dabo, thanks for doing this. Talking football, what were some things that you wanted to see when you started spring practice before the world went crazy? And do you think you've made progress on some of those areas?
Yeah, well, I would say the first thing for me was these 15 mid-years that were here in January. That was probably the biggest thing, because I know there's several of those guys that we were going to have to count on. And how far could we get those guys? Where are they mentally? Because you don't ever know. These guys are obviously incredibly talented football players in high school, but you don't ever really know where they are until you start coaching them, as far as, mental standpoint, how they learn, how they're going to absorb things. Can they transition it from the meeting room to the practice field? How will they adapt to the speed and physicality of the game? it's just everybody has a different process. And so that was probably the biggest thing for me because we obviously offensive line wise, we were going to have to throw some freshmen out there in that second and third group right out of the gate. And really, they were going to be exposed pretty quick. So how far we could get those guys, but not just the OL, all those 15 mid-years, a really, really good group. And I think starting just over on the defensive side, with Nolan being out, where would we be at safety? That was probably the biggest thing. I feel really good about our corners position, although it was a mess this spring because everybody was hurt. So we were able to, Fred Davis and Lee Anthony and DK got a lot of work, but outside of that, everybody was hurt. But I know what we've got in that room as far as just the ability. But it's safety, losing Kayvon, losing Muse, 2 big losses right there, losing Denzel, and now Nolan's out. That's 4 guys that were really some really good players for us. So how would we step up there? And, man, what an awesome job our safeties did this spring. I mean, I that's going to be a strength for us. I don't have any doubt about it. Mickey's done a great job in identifying the right guys. But Sanders and Joseph Charleston and Jalen Phillips and, man, Ray Thornton, those guys came a long way, got better and better and better. And I'm really excited about that group. And then you throw Nolan back in there, when he gets back in the fall, I think that's going to be a strength for our team. We're fast, we're physical, we're athletic at safety. And these guys have a really good knowledge base. This past year, that's the thing. Sometimes that's what I always tell these guys, man. You can always tell who's preparing and who's not, because sometimes you sit for they played last year, but they weren't the frontline guys. But they had the same opportunity to learn, to practice, to watch, to pay attention, and it's pretty cool to see those guys be ready for their opportunity. And it's very obvious that they were preparing, kind of in the dark, if you will. And now, boom, they're stepping into this moment and they're ready to go. So I feel really good about that group. And then you throw in there, T-Bone, Tyler Venables, who just came in here, and Mickens. Man, Mickens is a very natural player. We moved Batson over. We got a couple good walk-ons we like, in Elijah Turner and Carson Donnelly. I mean, it's just a really good group. So I felt great about that. That was my one question. Linebacker. Mike Jones, he was probably one of the brightest spots of spring ball. So that nickel Sam position, how was that going to sort out? We still got some work to do there behind him. Thought Simpson really came on, but we want to develop a third corner to really be able to go in there and be a true nickel as well. But again, all of our corners were hurt, so we didn't have a lot of depth there. But I thought Mike Jones really, really had a great spring. I mean, he's got a big thumbs up by his name right now. Proud of him. And then Skowski, it's almost not fair having him out there. I mean, I want to just take him off practice field every day. I mean, he is something else. And Valen Spector and Jake, our linebacker group there's not one guy in our linebacker group that I worry about. Every single one of them are great people, unbelievably committed, and very, very talented. So I think Brent has done a great job there. And then with our D-line, the biggest thing is I wanted to see all those guys who played last year come back in a different place, and we did. All those guys, from Foster to Xavier Thomas, KJ and Maskell, those 4 guys right there, they look the part now. Last year, we were running those guys out there, and this time last year, and we were kind of hoping that we could develop them and put a good group together. Because it was more just talent. Now it's not just talent. We've got the combination of talent and knowledge and work ethic and more commitment and a little better chemistry and just, again, knowledge and understanding. And they've all been exposed a little bit last year as far as, what they have to do to be great players. So I feel really good there about that group. And then you throw in Miles Murphy and Greg Williams. Wow. And then same thing at D tackle. You look last year, Tyler Davis hadn't played a snap, and he's a starter. Niles is out, Jordan's out. And now, even though Niles didn't go through spring, but he's played. Jordan played all year, got better and better. He understands what he's got to do to improve. Darnell Jeffries had a great spring for us. Rook, ET, we're just so much further along than where we were this time last year. It's so exciting for me to know what we've got a chance to be. And then same thing, you throw in Cape Hart and Varsity. I mean, you got a special group. And then on the flip side, offensively, that first offensive line, we didn't miss a beat this spring. I mean, really, really good group. And that speaks to the job Robbie's done, the development, same thing, those guys being ready, getting guys experience when we can get them. Bachhorst has played a lot of snaps. Cade has played a lot of snaps. Putnam got to play a good bit last year. Jordan McFadden, same thing. I think we've got a chance to be as good as we've ever been at tackle. So our first group, really, really good. The second group, work in progress. The good news is our second group is our second group. So we've got time to develop them. We'll get Blake Benson back. And when we get him back, that's going to give us another guy that's going to bridge that gap. And moving Taquan Johnson over to guard was a great move for us. It's a great move for him. I think he's got a bright future there. But all those young guys, their heads spun all spring long. They're probably all happy right now to get the hose pipe out of their mouth. And now, I tell you what, with these meetings we have and the opportunity we've got, we really have a chance to get those guys really caught up from a knowledge standpoint and ready to go. But it's a good group. Our running back room's never been better. Our tight ends, getting Braden back, Davis out. Davis playing a year, Jalen's better. Everybody, JC's back. Luke this time last year had just moved to tight end. He didn't know anything. He's back. Our receiver group is outstanding. EJ coming in, we hit on him. He's going to be a special talent. So I'm excited about Spector. And Brandon Spector is going to be a star for us over his career. So just in a good place. Potter, our kicker, I think he was 35 of 36 throughout spring. So just came a long way. Spires looks like a savvy veteran, and Jack Maddox did a great job as our snapper. But that was the other thing. I wanted to see who's going to kind of step in at snapper, and Jack Maddox did a great job. And but I know I just said a lot, but just that's kind of an overview of all those guys.
All right, we'll go next to the athletic and Grace Rayner. Grace, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Swinney, thank you so much for doing this. I'm just curious how recruiting is going, especially with the dead period being extended again through the end of May.
Yeah, recruiting is great. And, to be honest with you, we missed our spring game. That's always a huge opportunity for us. We would have had a lot of recruits on campus tomorrow. But we've had 2 big junior days. We've already got 10 commits. I mean, we're probably only going to sign about 18 guys in this class. So we're very, very focused on kind of, who we want to fill those spots. And most of the guys have been on campus for us already. We certainly wish we could have had the day tomorrow because for a lot of reasons. First of all, very few people can get 70,000 people in a stadium and create an unbelievable game atmosphere for our team. But it's also awesome for recruiting. So we missed that. And then for us, what we would be doing, we're continuing to, we haven't been able to have guys come see practice and things like that, but we're still communicating with our recruits daily, just like we would be if we were sitting in the office. It's really not any different at all. The biggest difference is, when the spring game would have been over, we would have spent, the next 2 weeks kind of doing our exit meetings and some of our post-spring stuff. And then the coaches would have hit the road for the month of May and got a chance to go out to the schools and watch practice and so forth. You can't talk to them, but you could go and see them in person and those type of things. But that's not going to happen. And usually we didn't have a lot of guys coming on campus in May anyway, because we're all on the road in May. Our next big time to get everybody on campus is in June. for camps. So the biggest change is not being able to go out on the road in May. But again, to be honest with you, we're very focused on the guys that we want to fill the remaining spots. And, we touch base with those guys every day. We still we have recruiting meetings. Our recruiting staff still putting together, all the type of mail and stuff that we need to send out, whether it be social media or the snail mail. But we can text all those guys and they can FaceTime us. So our communication has been great. And then our evaluation process has been really, really good. We've spent a lot of time, evaluating on all the tape. We do that anyway, but we've been able to have just even more time as a staff to do that stuff. So just kind of part of our daily routine, from a recruiting. I was just had a kid FaceTime me last night, and pretty much every day I'm talking to somebody. Either somebody's FaceTiming me or I'm texting them, and so recruiting is going very well. And again, our class is off to a great start for 2021, and I don't have any doubt we're going to finish it up with a great group of guys that we're targeting, and hopefully we'll be able to get guys back on campus this summer and all that stuff. But it's going very well.
We'll go next to ESPN.com and David Hale. David, go ahead.
Hey, Dabo. I'm just curious. I know, look, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen with the season, but as a guy who's kind of been doing this for a long time, I'm just sort of curious your approach. Would you, if push comes to shove, would you prefer to see a season start on time with an abridged preseason camp in summer, or delay the season, or push till spring so that everything can kind of be on a full schedule? Is there a preference in your mind, or what would work best for coaches and players?
Oh, absolutely. My preference is to, let's get to work and let's go play. That's the best case scenario, and I think that's what's going to happen. I don't have any doubt that I have zero doubt that we're going to be playing. That the stands are going to be packed and the valley's going to be rocking, and we're going to be back at it. I don't have any doubt. That's the only thought I got is that thought right there. All that rest of that stuff, I don't think about any of that. We can. It's like it goes back to when I first became a head coach. I had a lot of people tell me, hey, I need to have a plan to win and a plan to lose, and I did that early on, and then I hadn't done that in a long time. I got one plan. That's a plan to win. And if it don't go that way, well, I can figure that out in about 3 minutes. So that's just my mindset. I got one plan, and that is to get the Tigers ready to play come September and or late August or whatever. And these guys are all training, obviously. So that's my preference, is that we, have camp in August and get on and play the season. And I don't have any doubt that's going to be the case. I have zero doubt. I mean, this is America, man. We've stormed the beaches of Normandy. We've sent a car and drove around on Mars. We've walked on the moon. This is the greatest country and the greatest people in the history of the planet. We've created an iPhone that can I can sit here and talk to all you people in all these different places. We got the smartest people in the world. Listen, we're going to rise up and we're going to kick this thing right in the teeth, and we'll get back to our lives. That's a long time away, man. I mean, this is April the 3rd. So I got one focus, and that's getting the Tigers in camp in August and getting ready for Georgia Tech and getting in the Valley in September. And I can't wait to celebrate with all the Tiger fans. In fact, we got us an acronym for Tigers. It stands for "This is gonna end real soon." So that's the only mindset we got. All the rest of that stuff, I'll let all the other smart people figure out all them doomsday scenarios. I got one scenario, and that is running down the hill and kicking it off in the Valley.
All right, we're going to go next to the Post and Courier. We'll go to Gene Sapikoff. Gene, whenever you're ready. Gene, can you hear us? Are you unmuted?
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks for doing this.
It's like the Verizon guy. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Thanks for doing this, Dabo. I miss everybody, even Iacobelli. Dabo, if you got to go ahead to, at some point start regular conventional football from scratch, how long would it take you to get the team ready for a varsity game?
Oh, not long. Not long. Again, now that depends on if your guys are, what type of team you got. What's the leadership of your team? What's the commitment of the team? I mean, these aren't 10-year-olds. I mean, these are grown men that have to be responsible for themselves, and anybody can go run. Anybody can do push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups and all those things. So, everybody has to have personal accountability to be ready. But as far as, football, shoot. You just bring them back. Obviously for me, I would say July would be my hope is that we get our players back for summer one. That's my hope. Even if they can't go to class, at least come back and be able to get back to running and working out and those type of things in some type of restricted fashion, but be able to at least be training together. That would be my best case. And so that'd be middle of May, which is still a ways away. But worst case, hopefully we got them all back enrolling in July and prep them for camp to start in August and, get on with it. But how long? If you got a bunch of guys that are sitting around doing nothing, eating Twinkies every day and watching Netflix, well, it's probably not take longer. But if you got a committed group of guys, it's not going to take very long at all because they've been putting the work in.
All right, let's go next to Matt Connolly from the state. Matt, unmute and go ahead.
Hey, Dabo, thanks for doing this. I'm just wondering, Nick Saban was saying yesterday that Alabama gave his players Apple Watches to track their activity levels. Is that something you all are doing or doing anything similar? And if not, is it something that you're looking at?
Well, right now, we're not allowed to track our guys. So I don't know, maybe they got a different interpretation or something. There's a lot of different interpretations out there right now. The one thing we're not allowed to, we can provide them their workout. We can send them, videos of how certain things, but right now we can't observe them. Like we can't make them, okay, here we're working out at this time and y'all have to, show virtually, we have to be able to, check the box and watch you do it. We can't require that. And so, right now they wouldn't sign off on us to do that because, basically we could be holding them accountable to that. Now we can hold them accountable for our meetings. They have to show up for our football meetings. We can meet, talk ball, go through our film, go through our cut-ups. There's nothing, just like we're sitting in a meeting room, there's nothing we can't do. And that's really exciting because it's allowing us to really grow our team and to keep them together and keep them engaged and give them that community every single day. But right now that's not something that we can do. So, but again, from conference to conference, there's all these different interpretations. So, but yeah, we look at everything. But
all
that's
right,
not a big deal. Our guys are putting the work in. I don't need an Apple Watch to track them. They're putting the work in.
All right, we'll go next to Larry Williams from Tiger Illustrated. Larry, unmute and go ahead.
Hey, Dabo and everybody. Hope y'all are okay. Just curious.
Yeah, man.
In the cases of Nolan, Turner, and Brighton, and maybe I guess Booth as well, when they don't have actual physical people there, sort of guiding them through the rehab. How are they going about that?
Yeah, they're virtually doing it. So Danny Poole is an essential guy, and he's over there every day, and he virtually makes sure that they're doing everything, and they all have a plan. Booth's doing good. Booth's doing very well. Brighton has got a plan back at home that he's working through, and has somebody that he's rehabbing with. So they're all on the same page there. And then, but Nolan actually, bringing him up, he's actually coming back up here to his home here. So he's actually going to be able to go over and do his rehab with Danny Poole. So you can do the long-term rehab guys can do their rehab here, but it's just really Brighton and Nolan that fit in that category. But Brighton's doing his, but as far as just other guys that have different things that come up from time to time. Hey, my ankle's hurting or whatever. They're doing all that virtually and FaceTime with Danny Poole.
All right, we will go next to Clemson 24/7 and Anna Hickey. Anna, unmute and go ahead.
Hey, Dabo. I know you said you wanted to kind of develop that third cornerback behind Mike Jones. I know you have him as a linebacker, but then just that third cornerback there. Who would the candidates be to get work there, and who kind of has gotten work there already?
Yeah, well, to answer your question, I mean, they're technically all candidates. It really kind of depends on how it shakes out with our two, our whoever's going to be our starting two corners, or whoever that next best corner is. Maybe if it's not a guy that's ready to move inside, but he's very comfortable. If it's a young guy to play outside. But I think right out of the gate, I think Mario Goodrich is definitely a guy that could be a great, true nickel. DK could do it in a heartbeat. So we got some options. Malcolm Green will get here this summer. We'll see where he is and all that. But I'd say that's probably the main two. Fred is a guy right now that's just, trying to learn. He's got a lot on his plate. And then Booth, we weren't able to get out there. But Mario would probably be that first guy. But he wasn't able to – he was going to come back and get the second half of spring practice. But obviously we weren't able to do that. But I think he's a true candidate. But really all of them and that's something we definitely want to develop. And we had that for a long time. But, we had some unique players in Dorian O'Daniel and certainly in Isaiah, just kind of very, very unique type guys. And Mike, I tell you, Mike he's done a great job, and he's going to, bring exactly what we need there. But there's a lot of these teams out there now playing, 10 personnel and mostly 11 personnel, where in some of these past situations you really need another corner. And we used Kayvon a lot in that situation too. Kayvon was a guy that gave us a lot of flexibility because he could go in and he could play that true nickel position as well, which is one of the reasons he's going to be very successful at the next level. But right now, and we probably have a couple of those safety guys that I think fit that, but we're young there and we've really been trying to teach them. We got a couple guys that we've been training up a little bit, kind of cross training. But as far as just a true corner, right now, I would say, Mario's probably the lead candidate, and that's saying that, and he hadn't even practiced out there, so we'll see. But definitely kind of a to-do item for us when we do get back going.
All right, we'll go next to David Hood of TigerNet. David, unmute and go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I've got a couple of questions, but I'll start out with
I lost you.
The personal one. I don't know where you're trying to rent out at, in Clemson or Florida or wherever, but is this the most time that you and Kath have been able to spend together or spend with the kids in quite a while or a long time? And is that maybe a bright spot in all of this for you?
Yeah. Oh, my Lord. Are you kidding? Yes. Never, ever, 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 ever in my life have we spent this much time together. Because we're just always so busy, I mean, you're just busy doing life, and even same thing with our kids. But we're in Clemson now, but we were down at our place in Florida for a week, and we may go back down there for just Easter, but we just kind of been working out of the house, and I just staying bit. As I said earlier, man, I've never been more busy. It's unbelievable. I've done a lot of, different things just professionally, talking to a lot NFL people. I've had several NBA people, just our players and recruiting and our staff meetings, our team meeting, our segment meetings. I mean, it's just a lot going on. I'm getting ready to start my exit meetings, and that's going to be I think we had 108 guys. That's going to take a while. So we've had a lot going on, but we're all here together. And so it's been very unique that way. And there are lots of positives that are going to come out of this. This is certainly, a strange time for all of us. But, man, we're going to come out of it better. And, for me personally, that has been a huge blessing to be able to, just have, some very unexpected family time, with my kids, certainly with Kath, and just to be able to watch home videos. We've played tons of cards and it's just been awesome. To have this unique time. We've had a lot of great talks, and I mean, we've done just the karaoke. I mean, we've done a lot of things that we would never normally have the opportunity to do, and it's been great. And I'll tell you this, my garage is spotless, my attic is clean, my closet is cleaned out. So I've gotten a lot of the to-do list that's been on the to-do list for a while when it comes to just home stuff, and it's been good from that standpoint. And I think that's a positive. I think we all have a chance to be more connected, hopefully spiritually, number one, but also with our families through all this.
All right, we're going to try to go next to CBS Sports and Dennis Dodd. Dennis, go ahead if you can.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. Dabo, I think you asked my question. I was going to ask you if any part of you had considered that Trevor Lawrence or Travis Etienne, among others, had taken their last college snap.
No, I haven't considered that 1 second. Not
Okay.
1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to let everybody else consider that.
All right, we're going to go next to Will Vandervoort from the Clemson Insider. Will, go ahead.
My bad. Hey, Dabo, just wanted to ask about the quarterback situation. What's it like with DJ and Tyson, and how did they finish up those 9 days, and how did they look in the scrimmage?
Hello. You got the echo going. All right. Can you hear me? You got me, Ross?
We got you, Coach.
Okay. All right. He had a bad echo going. I think he asked about the quarterbacks, I believe. I mean, it was great. I mean, wow. That's the biggest word I could say about this quarterback room. Very special group. Unbelievable character in the room. These are some awesome young men, first of all. Trevor just what you would expect of a guy, that's going to graduate in December, and a guy that's played in, 2 national championship games and has lost, I guess 1 game. He's pretty special where he is right now. And it was awesome to see his sense of urgency this spring on the details of everything that he's trying to do. Just really just precision in what he's doing. I mean, it's just another level. And then I tell you, Tyson, he's one of those guys that when he came in last year, I mean, he was overwhelmed. I mean, day one, he's throwing dirt balls. And I mean, you just could tell he was just it was moving fast. And he has worked his tail off, very smooth, very fluid, very knowledgeable. And, you can tell the game slowed down. And I thought he had an excellent 9 days. He's never going to look like DJ or Trevor as far as just watching him throw the ball. But because he's got a little bit of a different technique, but he's very accurate, and he has got big time arm strength and talent. So he just looks different, but a very, very good spring. And then DJ is he's an unbelievable talent. I mean, it's just unbelievable to see a guy that big and that can, I mean, he sometimes makes Trevor, and we all know what type of arm Trevor has, and sometimes it makes Trevor just kind of look normal with his ability to just rip that football. It's unbelievable. It really is. And then, oh, by the way, he's 6'4", 245 pounds and can move. So he's never really seen a guy quite like him. Very unique. But you look at these guys but you forget they're just pups. They got so much to learn. But what I was pleased with him is he really picked it up very quick. He was never really overwhelmed. And if he was, you didn't know it. I loved his demeanor. Just regardless of kind of who you put him in with, he just kind of found a way to kind of move the ball. And he's got a lot to learn. He's got, a lot to do this summer. But I thought he really took advantage of his opportunities and got better. From day 1 through day 9, he got better and better. And that's what you want to see with a guy like him. So it's a really, really talented group. We're incredibly fortunate to have those guys, and going to be a blast to get back out on the field with them at some point.
We'll go now to Trevor Groves of CUTigers.com. Trevor, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good to hear everybody's voice again. Coach, I know you said last week that you would not be in favor of extending the August camp at all. Coach Saban recently said that he would like to see an extra 14 practices just without pads, just for instruction and installation only. Would you advocate something similar to that?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely don't want to see camp extended. I don't think that's the way to go. I think camp is tough, man, and you don't want to extend that. I would love to see that. Yeah, I think first of all, I think just from an equitable standpoint, I don't think it's fair that we got to go out and have 9 practices, and although anybody you can start whenever you want, but and we just happened to go early, but I don't think it's fair that we were able to go have 9 practices and some teams had none. So I think there needs to be an equity standpoint there. I don't really know what the number is. Is it truly 15 days or is it, hey, give everybody 10 days. So that means we'd get 1 or whatever. But I do think there needs to be some leeway this year due to these circumstances. And next year we can get back on a normal schedule. But I do think there should be some relief this year and allow regardless it was at June or July, but allow everyone to be able to kind of have some OTAs, if you will. Yeah, no pads, helmets only, but to where you can go out and do drill work, install your offense, defense, do some 7-on-7, and just teach, and do what you would do, be able to evaluate your team a little bit, condition them, and just get them ready for camp, and do it, not where it's everyday grind, but be able to just say, okay, hey, we're going to go out, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or this week we're going to go out for an hour each day, whatever it may be, and whatever the number is. Again, for us, if they said, okay, you get 12 days, everybody gets 12 days, and if you got 9 in the spring, then okay, Clemson, you get 3. Well, I would be all for that. I think that's equitable, and I think it would be smart in this case to allow everyone to be able to do that and get a lot of these freshmen a little bit of work and things. But we'll see. Hopefully that will come to fruition. But I definitely would be against just saying, okay, we start camp July 20th and you play in end of August or early September. I just think that's too long.
All right, I'm going to go next to Josh Needleman of the Post and Courier. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Dabo, thanks for doing this. Going back to the quarterbacks, had DJ or Tyson sort of separated themselves as that QB2, or is that still sort of?
Yeah, we're they're still battling there. That's going we're a ways away from that. We got a long way till September. A lot of work to be done. I wish we'd have been able to finish. That was something I was really, really excited about for tomorrow, was to be able to run them two young bucks out there in front of about 70,000 people, ESPN, all that. Coach Swinney standing right behind them on the field, and Trevor Lawrence over there with a ball cap on, and let them two go at it. That was going to be my plan, and that would have been a blast. So, yeah, we got work to do, but we're rocking and rolling. I mean, Tyson, is been here longer, and obviously, DJ only has 9 practices. So if you played today, certainly Tyson would run out there too. But we got a long way to go and a lot of competition ahead.
Had a couple reach out with quick follow-ups. We'll go back to Dennis Dodd. Dennis, go ahead.
Yeah. Again, Dabo, thanks for doing this.
Sure.
We've heard a lot about angry Alabama in the off season. What does angry Clemson look like, and what does angry Trevor look like after the championship game?
Angry, huh? I don't know. Listen, hey man, I wouldn't say I'm angry. I'm happy. I'm too blessed to be stressed. That's how I look at it. I mean,
right.
It's all part of it. We got our butts whooped, and we just move on. I mean, that's in the rearview mirror. Just like had we won it, it's in the rearview mirror. I'm not sitting around, worried about that. We had an unbelievable run, 29 games in a row, and we've been in 4 out of the last 5 national championship games.
Right.
We've had a lot of success and but along that way we've had, some challenges too, and that's all. It's just a part of, where you are, and so for us, it's just about this team. It's about what's in front of us, to me, as I always say, I'm more motivated by winning than I am by losing. I'm not one of those guys that needs to lose to get motivated. I'm motivated by winning. And I'm disappointed that we got beaten that last game, but our guys, I really wasn't angry. I thought our guys were very well prepared and really laid it on the line for our team. And we wish we could have done a few things better, but they were the better team, and they won the game, and they earned it. And you tip your hat and move on. But I was angry after that 2015 game. I was angry. I was angry that year. I was disappointed. But this year was a different deal. But for us, it's just excitement about being able to go compete again and see what this team can do. That's all I'm motivated by.
And can I ask a follow-up? Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
I
got you.
You said you traveled. Have you? Was that on the team plane? Has it been, sanitized? Do you feel any concern about that?
No. I was actually on a private plane when I traveled, and it was sanitized. I don't have any concern.
All right, we're going to go next to Phil Kornblut, Sports Talk Radio Network. Phil, go ahead. Phil, can you unmute?
How about now? You got me?
We got you.
Okay, thank you, Dabo, and good to hear everybody. Considering the pain and suffering the country is going through, the economy taking the hit it's taking, the millions of dollars the colleges are losing, athletics losing, what do you expect when things do get back to normal as you see it? Do you see college football continuing to move forward as it had been in terms of spending, salaries, facilities, or do you see do you foresee a dialing back because of the impact of the virus on everybody across the country?
Yeah, those are questions for other people. I think first of all, like I said, the if you didn't have college football, then there's going to be major impact. But I can't imagine that we're not having college football. But I think there's a lot of discussion that certainly could come, if that were to be the case. But hopefully, we're going to be able to push forward and get back to doing what we all love to do and continue to, have this wonderful country stand tall. And that's what I believe is going to happen. As far as all that other stuff, those are decisions that, have to be made down the road. And I can tell you this, Clemson will always do what's right.
We got about 3 or 4 minutes to try to squeeze in a couple quick follow-ups. We will go back to David Hood from TigerNet. David, go ahead.
Yeah, my question was on the wide receivers. It was a bit of a transition spring. No T. Higgins, Justin Ross hurt. No Jeff Scott. Did you see what you wanted to see out of that group? And, who were two that maybe kind of jumped to the forefront for you?
Well, first of all, I'm super proud of Tyler Grisham. I mean, what an awesome job he did. Really hate we got cut short. He's going to be really good for us, and I'm just really proud of him. It was a lot of fun to just see him be able to go do it, and it was awesome. But it's a very good group. It was great to see Amari out there without a brace, and Justin was having a great spring before he got hurt, and then Spector, as I said earlier, a young guy that really we almost played last year, full go. He's really, really going to be a good player for us. I'm excited about him. And Ladson just had a totally different approach. He really did some good things last year, but he was really progressing, had a great spring, but he missed all of camp because he got hurt. He really, truly didn't get back until game week of the first game, and that really set him back. But he still did some good things, and it was a good year for him. But he's I'm really excited about his ability to stretch the field and his improvement. Ngata is a man. He is a grown man, and he did some great things as a freshman last year. He hit the wall at one point, then he kind of pushed through and finished strong. But he's going to be a very special guy. The guy that I'm probably most proud of, and the guy who probably he led us in catches, was Cornell Powell. And sometimes it's getting the opportunity, but sometimes that opportunity is dictated by your sense of urgency and taking advantage of your opportunities when you do get them. And he's one of those guys that you just have always seen it and you always know it was there, but he just had a different motor to him, is the best way I can say it, and a different sense of urgency. And he really took advantage of his opportunity this spring. I mean, he had a great spring, and it was exciting to see that. I think his teammates were excited for him because it's the same thing. We all know he can do it, but just hadn't seen him bring it day in and day out. And we've had a lot of good players here too. But he really stepped up. If I had to circle one guy, he's a guy that just going where we were going in the spring, was he going to be a guy that was going to take advantage of the opportunity or let it pass him by? And he really took advantage of his opportunity this spring. So I'm really proud of him, but it's a really good group. EJ is better than advertised. I mean, he is a really talented young player. He's got a bright future ahead. And then Will Swinney is a senior, and Will Brown. That's two of our walk-on guys that I think can help us. And both had lots of opportunity. And Will's a great leader for us, very committed guy. So it's a good group. I'm excited about the opportunity that we got to put it together. And then obviously a Joe will be coming in here this summer. And I cannot wait to start working with him.
All right, that pretty much brings us up right at 12 o'clock. Coach, we appreciate you carving out some time. To everybody that joined us today, we appreciate you all saving some time for us. We hope you're all staying happy and healthy and your families are doing well. Coach, any final thoughts from your end before we sign off?
Yes, I would just tell everybody, hey, I miss seeing all of you. I really do. And excited to eventually get back out there. And I would just tell everyone to keep the faith. All right, I really would. This is going to pass. We're going to get to the other side of this, and we're going to be better than ever. And we're going to get back to living our lives and doing what we all love to do. So I have zero doubt about that. God is going to be glorified through this. And Easter's coming up next weekend, and just say Happy Easter, everyone, and take this time to really, reflect and just, again, grow, and be prayerful because there are a lot of people out there that have been incredibly impacted, and just lives turned upside down. But we're going to get through that, and there's going to be a lot of help for a lot of people. We're going to come together more than ever through this. That's just what I believe. And so just keep the faith and, stay safe. Let's heed the advice of all these experts and leadership and all the things that we got to do here in the immediate. And then, I really believe that we got a lot of great, wonderful, smart people that are going to be able to put an end to all this stuff sooner than later. So, let's keep the faith in that, and everyone stay safe, and Happy Easter to everybody.
Coach, we appreciate it, everybody. Hope you all have a wonderful and healthy weekend, and we'll distribute the audio of this call as soon as it is available. Thank y'all.